Hi everyone, how are you all doing? My name is Natalie. If this is the first time that you're watching my videos, I am a Western tropical astrologer and I use a whole sign house system for all my forecasts and videos. In this video, we are talking about this upcoming week astrology forecast, and this is a huge week. Okay, this video, I'm giving you a heads up. It's going to be a little long because we are in the eclipse season while the energy kicks in last week. And from my experience and consultation, I really treat the whole eclipse season I would say after the last lunation before the eclipse, which is the Aquarius full moon that we had, that lunation sort of opens up that eclipse portal energy for me. The week before, we have that Aquarius full moon that was already in the orb, not in the orb of the North Node, but is already in the sign where North Node is already there. So that full moon was pretty eclipsy in itself. And this week we are having officially the first eclipse in this Aquarius Leo axis that we will that this eclipse cycle will continue for us for the next 18 months. In short, the next 18 months onward is going to be all about eclipses in Leo and Aquarius. So this video we will talk about the first eclipse in this series, which is going to be a solar eclipse in the sign of Leo. But before we dive in, we'll go in order and talk about this whole week. Monday, we start with, in the very beginning, a void of course moon for 25 hours, 8 minutes. So pretty much the whole Monday, which I find this energy very aligned with Monday itself, because Monday is actually ruled by the moon, which essentially moon day. And we have void of course moon for the whole day until August 11th. 1:38 a.m. All times are in Pacific time zone, so adjust the time according to where you are in the world. Essentially, during void of course moon, if this is the first time that you're watching my video, we don't want to be like super active. This is not the greatest time to launch a business, to debut a workshop, to sign a contract, to do anything officially very important, unless you want to do or launch something that is like under the radar, right? So if you are you want to announce something, announce your workshop, your business, pick a starting date or for your creative project ideas, this is not the day you want to pick. This is not the day you want to sign a contract or send out that email or letter, definitely not. Because when the moon is in void, it's not creating any kind of aspect. It's just floating by itself in the universe. You want the moon to create some kind of aspect in order for things to happen. So in electional astrology, we do not want to use the void of course moon to do anything special, but we do all the moon things which are resting. Moon is all about our physical body. So this is about taking care of yourself, having a slower day. I know it's not always possible, as many of us have a Monday to Friday 9 to 5 job. But if possible, Monday is definitely a day you want to take it slow, take it easy, not to be super busy and fully packed. Maybe you want to prioritize rest, you want to nourish your body, and so on and so forth, right? Because it's very resonating, we do have that eclipse coming up in a couple of days. So this is the perfect start of the week to just take it slow, because the energy is just it's already pretty chaotic. It's going to be even more by the time we have that eclipse. So Monday, if possible, prioritize rest and not fully pack this day for yourself. But we do have other aspects happening. Venus is a very busy bee on Monday. Venus in Libra is going to first trine Pluto retrograde in Aquarius at 3 degrees 57 minutes. And then it's going to oppose Neptune in Aries at 4 degrees 6 minutes. So it's very interesting. We talk about it separately and then combine it, because the fact that the two of them are happening at the same time on the same day, there's a couple pretty interesting scenario that can happen. First of all, Venus trine Pluto. So this is about building a very strong emotional bond, a deep bond connection with someone or group, right? You want to explore the depth of each other through conversation, because they're both in air sign, right? Venus in Libra, Pluto in Aquarius is air sign. It's talk about exchanging words, right? Conversation, ideas, and things like that. And with Pluto, we want to go deep. We want to excavate. We want to go to the shadow. We want to talk about secrets, right? Maybe this is about very emotional conversation, right? But it's a trine, so it's very supportive. Maybe this is having a healing session or conversation with someone in your life. Venus in Libra, very relational, right? And Aquarius is that air energy. So this is about maybe through exchanging stories, conversation, or even sharing your wounds and traumas, right? Because we're talking about Pluto, we're talking about healing, going to the depth of the underworld. So this is about what changed you, what hurts you, what transform you. And by those exchanges, maybe both of you or one of you will find healing or able to create the stronger bond with each other, right? Maybe this is a friendship, maybe this is a romantic partnership. This can be with anyone, right? With a family member, co-worker, a new friend, but by exchanging that, wow, maybe today is that relationship just, go deeper. And then we have Venus in Libra opposed Neptune. So this is very different. This is almost like a rose-tinted glasses, not seeing the truth of someone or something, right? Because it's Neptune, is opposing. So this is a tougher aspect to navigate through, right? This is about maybe putting people on pedestal, having that illusion of someone, projecting one's point of view onto others, right? This is giving your power away by putting it into others, right? Maybe you are just, thinking the best of someone and not able to see the red flag, right? And with Venus opposing it, this can be dicey for a first date, so be mindful while you navigate through this opposition between Venus and Neptune as well. You want to still be able to be logical and be mindful and practice discernment, right? Especially if it's a newer connection, friendship, or relationship, right? It's very interesting how we have these two together. And one of the scenario can be, the two of you are exchanging stories and you are talking to each other, and you find out that, oh my God, we're in the cult together. We are in this really weird new agey spiritual group, so this is by the two of you having conversation, exchanging even trauma or whatnot, and you find out that, oh my God, we are in a really weird group or dynamic, right? So this is just one of the possible scenario, which I thought is quite funny. But of course, this can also be trauma bonding. So you do want to be mindful, but in the light attribute, it can be very transforming and healing by, sharing each other's story or experience or trauma, or just, having a very healing conversation as well. So depending which way you're feeling, these are all the possible scenarios. But also on Monday, we have another aspect that is happening. We have Mars in Gemini, trine North Node in Aquarius at 29 degrees 48 minutes. So this, again, is a supportive aspect. This can be you feeling the nudge. Your intuition is telling you to take an action, right? To speak on something, because they're both in air sign, Gemini, Aquarius. This can be you wanting to speak about something that is close to your heart and you feel called to do so. This might be you taking an action. It's about Mars, right? So see what comes up for you. If you're feeling the nudge, if you're feeling this is the right thing to do, this might be the day to do it. Next day on 11, Mars will then enter Cancer at 1:30 a.m. Pacific time or 4:30 p.m. Hong Kong time. So adjust the time according to where you are in the world. Mars is said to be in the fall in a sign of Cancer, meaning that Mars struggles to do what Mars wants to do typically, right? Because Mars is that very fast energy that want to assert its energy, want to take action. Mars is very direct, straightforward, on the go. It's like, let's do this, let's do that. And Mars have that cutting, severing energy. And in the sign of Cancer, in a crabby shell, Mars is feeling very restricted, right? It's not able to do what Mars wants to do because Cancer is very protective energy. Cancer would be like, no, hold on, it's not safe, don't do it, let me think about it. And of course, like I said, always with aspect and transit and everything, there's the light and shadow attribute. So Mars in Cancer can in some way give Mars a little break, right? Like that brake paddle is like, okay, slow down, just let me think it through. Is it really okay to do that? Is it safe to proceed? Is it safe to take action yet? Or do I need a little bit more planning to do? Maybe I need to tend to my emotion, people's emotion, right? Cancer is that water sign. Cancer is ruled by the moon. The moon is the fastest traveling and closest to the planet Earth, right? Moon changes sign every 2.5 days. So moon can be making a lot of different aspects, right? Sometimes is in the void, like I said in the very beginning. Sometimes it's very busy, making multiple aspects. So it's ever changing with the moon. So Mars in a sign that changes like that, it doesn't know how to react to that. So Mars in Cancer can be very moody, can be passive aggressive. You don't know which side of the bed you're gonna end up today when you wake up, right? And you don't know which side you're getting from someone today as well. Maybe they can be super nice one day, or smile, happy, and the next day maybe you get a very angry, moody person and just like say no to everything. So you never really know with Mars in Cancer what you're gonna get. So I know that kind of give Mars in Cancer a bad rap, but Mars in Cancer is not all bad. Like I said, Mars in Cancer is extremely protective. Yes, it has that mama bear energy and sometimes can feel very overprotective and, even suffocating for some people. But it really cares about what it thinks is important, right? And it is, in some way, yes, sometimes Mars in Cancer can delay its action and miss opportunity, right? You think too much, you wanted to protect yourself or who knows what else, and you end up not doing what you want to do or delaying your action, and that's going to create missed opportunity. But it is also about protecting and fighting for those who cannot, right? Because of that mama bear energy. Mars in Cancer is that energy to stand up and fight for those who cannot, right? So the more vulnerable groups in our society, the ones that really need our protection and help, Mars in Cancer is that mama bear and defending it and like protecting it. So it's great to do so at that. And during this transit, you might feel called to do something like that, right? You might be a little bit more protective towards people that you want to protect, right? And this also brings us back to September 2024, especially when because that was when we have Mars in Cancer as well, and that's also when we have Mars retrograde, because in 2024 November to late February 2025, that is when we have our Mars retrograde in Cancer and Leo. So during this transit, Mars is coming back, revisiting that time. So for some, you might be thinking back end of 2024 to early 2025. What was happening in your life? What were you moving through, right? That was a Mars retrograde. And now Mars is, direct and it's back in Cancer again. Some of us might feel similar topics coming back for us to work on or to look at as well. And Mars will stay in Cancer until September 27th. On the same day, Mercury is going to first oppose Pluto in Aquarius at 3 degrees 55 minutes. And then Mercury is going to trine Neptune in Aries at 4 degrees 5 minutes. So first of all, let's talk about Mercury opposing Pluto. We had Jupiter opposing Pluto earlier, July 20th. And then we also have the Sun in Leo opposing Pluto July 27th. And today, on the 11th, Mercury is going to oppose Pluto. So for some people, whatever was happening July 20, July 27, maybe today with Mercury opposing Pluto, you are having some kind of conversation around what was happening towards end of July. And maybe what was happening around that time is being brought up again today as well. And with Pluto, it's about going deeper, right? And Mercury in Leo is about perhaps connecting at a deeper level, maybe to excavate more information, right? Mercury. And maybe this is about conversation, like I said, to talk about it. Mercury aspect Pluto always feels like some kind of secret being revealed to me. Whenever Mercury have an aspect with Pluto, you know, whether this is opposition or square, especially opposition and square, I will always think about secret being revealed. So today, maybe on a personal level or collective level, we might see some of that. Maybe some of us might discover a hidden secret, you know, maybe it's about a family secret, relational secret, right? That was previously hidden from you, and today you find it out. Maybe you are the one who's being vulnerable today and feeling brave enough and ready enough to share a secret of yours with other people as well. And this can also be a very empowering moment. But again, with Pluto, there's always this theme of power, right? So with the opposition, this can be a power struggle dynamics that is happening between you versus someone, you versus a group today. You know, opposition is that going against each other energy. So this can definitely be a day where there might be some heated conversation or even argument. But then we also have Mercury trine Neptune in Aries. So that is a different vibe. That is a different energy. Especially, I would say, if you are a writer, if you are a movie producer, if you write poetry, create art, you know, if you do anything creative, today with this trine between Mercury and Neptune, this can be very sci-fi feel, right? This can be very futuristic, you know, if you write any fantasy, sci-fi novel or movies, you know, mythology or, you know, things like that, this can be a very inspiring day where ideas just flows in, right? And this can also be a great day to share and vocalize something that you're passionate about, because we do have that Mercury in Leo, which is kind of like a megaphone energy in some way. On the same day, 11th, we have another aspect. Venus in Libra, trine Uranus in Gemini at 5 degrees 19 minutes. This can be quite fun and interesting. This can be meeting someone that's not your typical type. You know, if let's say you're going on a date or you're just, you know, somewhere and you meet someone that's just not your typical type, but very interesting, intriguing, maybe perhaps having some very interesting conversation that you did not expect. It's a wild card energy with Uranus, right? And maybe this is about exchanging conversation. This doesn't have to be meeting someone totally new. This can be a friend, but a family member or whatnot, and you guys are exchanging conversation and something very interesting that you guys never talked about, or a topic that you never talked about, but today, you know, it opens your mind. It widen your perspective or bring in a new perspective through conversation, because they're both air sign, right? And this can be a very fun, interesting day as well. It's a trine. So you might feel inspired from something that is just unexpected as well. March 12th, it is our solar eclipse in Leo, which is happening at 20 degrees 1 minute. And for Pacific time, this is happening August 12th, 10:36 a.m. and Pacific time zone. And for earlier time zone, this is March 13, 1:36 a.m. Hong Kong time. So just the time according to where you are in the world. This is the very first eclipse in this Leo Aquarius eclipse cycle for the next 18 months. Like I said before, this is the one of two eclipses in the sign of Leo that we'll experience. Yeah, I know we actually only have two eclipses in Leo this time, and there's more in the sign of Aquarius. So this is the first one. The next one will be next summer, August 2nd of 2027. So for many of us, or some of us, this first eclipse in Leo sort of open up, and between this and the next one, it's kind of this 1 year cycle for our Leo house. And who knows, maybe perhaps this first solar eclipse is a seeding moment that will continue to unfold and develop over the next year in your Leo house, right? This is a South Node eclipse. South Node is in Leo, North Node is in Aquarius. With South Node, there's always this energy of shedding, letting go, this purification, right? Because this is happening between the luminaries, the sun and the moon. And so the energy of Leo is being purified in some way, right? Because the sun is going to be hidden from the shadow. And sun is often related to leadership, right? The sun is the life force energy. So in the world, we always refer the sun to people that's always, on top, being seen by the rest of us. So that is, the world leaders, the one that's always on the front page. Is about celebrities, some iconic figures, and so on and so forth. So this eclipse can really affect them the most. But of course, if you have Leo big three, like sun, moon, rising, especially if your sun, moon, rising in Leo is close to 20 degrees. I use a type of because when it's too wide, the feeling is still there, but it's not as strong. So I would say if you have your sun, moon, rising in Leo between 17 to 23 degrees, you're going to feel this the most. And if you have any prominent planets, that's in Leo in those degrees or aspecting the 20 degrees in Leo, you will feel this a little more than the others. If you have energies in fixed sign, right? Fixed sign being Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, Taurus. If you have any planets or point at 20 degrees or close to 20 degrees, I would say 18 to 22, you are going to feel this a little bit more. But not that others will not feel it. Every single one of us will feel it in some way, shape, or form, because guess what? We all have all 12 signs in our natal chart, because the 12 sign rules the 12 different house. So take a look and see which house is ruled by Leo, what are the themes, topic, area of life is Leo house about, because that is where the South Node energy is going to be at. And just a fun fact and information, Leo, we commonly know that Leo rules the heart in medical astrology, right? But Leo being ruled by the sun is also associated with our left eye. Very interesting and specific, right? Why is that? Because the luminaries, the sun and the moon, is said to be the, luminary is showing, right? Is giving, letting us to see things. So that is why the sun and the moon, they both rule our eyes. And Leo rules the left eye, and because Leo is the sun. And then the moon, which is ruled by Cancer, rules the right eye. Very interesting, right? So I don't know, maybe some, not all, some of us might need to pay attention to our eye, especially the left eye, right? I would say especially if you are a Leo rising, because rising sign is that physical body is all about you. So definitely Leo rising, of course sun and moon as well, but especially Leo rising. Especially if you have your rising sign at 20 degrees or very close, I would say 18 to 22. pay attention to your left eye, your heart, your upper back, and your spine, because those are the body parts that is associated with Leo. Like I said before, if you're Leo rising, this can be a very physical manifestation. And with South Node, this is going to be a little bit TMI, but it can literally be bathroom situation. Okay, I said that because it does happen and I experienced it before. And I mean, this is not the worst, you know, not the worst of all possible scenario. So yeah, that is a little fun fact if you're not aware of, but yeah, I'm just sharing all the possible scenario. Let's go back a little bit about the sun solar people, right? So during this eclipse time, I would say, well, you know, during this whole eclipse season, because the energy is really there already as of, you know, since the Aquarius full moon until very much the end of August and the first week of September. We're very much in that eclipse portal energy. And with particularly this eclipse being in the sign of Leo, all those solar people I just mentioned, there is this letting go and shedding in those figures. And in ancient time, the eclipses are known to be the king killer, okay? Because think about back in the days, in the ancient, right? We don't know what happened, right? We don't have the tools to calculate anything just yet. It's just by observing. And it is really scary if suddenly you're on a day, you are, you know, just farming or whatnot, you're out and about and suddenly the sun just like gone, right? You'll be like, oh my god, what's happening? You know, is it like demon coming to take us away? And you know, is it the end of the world? It can be really, really scary back in the day with our ancestors. So that is why eclipses also have this, you know, more of a negative omen in it. But now we know that, you know, there's reason why. Now we know. But before, it's known to be, you know, whenever there's eclipse coming, some kingdom might hide their king, or like they might swap the king with some ordinary people that look like him, and the next day he will come back, you know, until the eclipse is gone, right? Because it's said to be that, you know, prominent figure will fall. And by looking back into history, it is true. Like, we do always see some prominent figure pass away during eclipse season. Like, we always see, like before with celebrity, the person in Friends, he passed away during an eclipse, literally right there, you know. So, and there's so many more example. I don't want to waste time talking so much about it, but this eclipse being in Leo definitely can bring down, or, you know, someone. There might be this fall of grace for some leaders, maybe even the one with Leo rising. You know who I'm talking about? You know, the little orange man. So there might be some news about him. And with celebrities as well, we definitely see some news around this time already with Ariana Grande, how she is, you know, having that song debuting that is receiving a lot of negative feedback. And she also announced that she might be taking a break after her tour. So we're seeing a lot of this. And with, you know, but that's more a Mercury retrograde story, but we see a lot from FIFA as well. But just to say, we are definitely going to see some more, especially during eclipse season, but also in the next 18 months. Let's talk about where is it landing. So this solar eclipse is happening at 20 degrees 1 minute, which is the third decan of Leo. And that decan is ruled by Mars and is represented by this tarot card, Seven of Wands. And in this tarot card, you can see this person here, it's fighting, right? And first glance quickly, by just looking at it really quickly, you're like, oh, okay, seems like he's okay, because he's, you know, on top, he have the upper hand, and, you know, he's like fighting, you know, so looks pretty okay. But when you look closer, look at this card closer. Do you see what he's wearing? He's wearing 2 different shoes, right? So he left home in a rush. He was not fully prepared. He had to just kind of like, oh my God, I just have to do it, right? And his face, is it at ease? Not exactly. He's struggling a little bit, you know? And there's a lot of energy coming up that wants to fight him, and he's trying really hard to, you know, get the upper hand, to fight back, to win, and, you know, but at what cost, right? So when you look closer, it's not exactly, you know, he doesn't look like he's exactly winning. He is trying, right? He's trying to fight. He's trying to win the battle to prove something, right? And why I say to prove something, because before the 6 of Wands, we have the before the 7 of Wands, we have the 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, when he is crowned the king, he's, you know, coming back with the victory, you know, he's receiving praise. But then what now? You have to prove it, right? Are you really that victor and emperor that you claim to be? You have to show that you are actually that person. So that is why this eclipse happening in this decan, leadership will be tested. Are you really that leader that you claim yourself to be? Or are you just all talk and no action, right? Many will be tested. Celebrities might be tested. You say you are a celebrity. Where do you stand on political issues? Where do you stand with what is happening around the world? Are you just here for fame and fortune, or are you actually using your platform for the greater good? Because don't forget, on the other side of this axis is Aquarius, and Aquarius is all about humanitarian. What are you doing, right? Are you being the leader? Are you claiming all those fame and fortune for yourself? Or are you actually thinking about the greater good? Because if you are not, guess what? You're going to receive some challenge energy. You are going to get kicked off from your horse, right? So we will definitely see some interesting story being developed. I would say this month, but also in the next 18 months. On a personal level, this is all about, this word, I will use it a lot and you will see me use it a lot. Authenticity, right? So this is really about, you know, not just during this eclipse, but this whole 18 months onwards, authenticity. Do you practice what you preach, or are you just, you know, service level, all talk and no action, right? On a personal level, are you being authentic? Are you showing up authentically? Are you true to yourself? Are you being authentic even to yourself? Or are you wearing a mask, denying all what you really think? Are you communicating with your heart, with yourself? You know, sometimes we can be so delusional, so in self-denial that we create a whole different persona for ourselves. We do not show up with our true self because we are scared, you know, and I do have those aspects in myself as well that I've been navigating through and still learning to navigate. And I'm sure many of us can relate to that. But, you know, through my experience so far, the more I go deeper, the more is I cannot be anyone else but myself, because I will never find people that resonate with me. I will never find people that I can really, really talk to if I don't be myself. So the more I show up authentically, the more I can attract my people, to find my people, right? And to be able to connect more truthfully. And my energy doesn't allow me to, you know, lie and fake too much anyway. But less about myself, more about everyone. So this is something that you'll find yourself maybe having to ponder on during this eclipse season and the 18 months onwards. It's like, do you actually show up authentically? You know, this is not to attack anyone, but are you being true to yourself? Are you communicating, expressing yourself wholeheartedly? Leo rules the heart again. On a professional level, are you doing what truly aligns with your values and belief? Or are you just faking it? Are you doing it for the sake of money, fortune, and fame? Or are you doing something that is really you're passionate about, that you truly want to do, and you're doing it for the greater good? You know, are you just trying to scam people money? Or are you doing something that actually will give back to others as well, you know? So we do see a lot about that. On a collective level, I can list so many things, but I'm not going to go too deep right now. But You see where I'm getting at, right? So some question to really ponder during this eclipse and next 18 months is, everything I've just said. How can we show up in the most authentic, heart-forward kinds of way, right? How can we be more of that? And it is not always going to be an easy road, because look at the tarot card again. You will not please everyone. There will be times where you feel like you are fighting a battle and you're not sure that if you can win. You might you won't please everyone. Not everyone will like you, appreciate what you have to say, like the real you. Some people might get upset. Maybe some people will not agree with you, will fight back. You're not my cup of tea. But think about it. Not everyone is your cup of tea as well. So how can you expect yourself to be everyone's cup of tea? That's just not going to happen. That's just not how it is in the world, right? So understand that, but still allowing yourself to be courageous and brave enough, that Leo energy, to show up from your heart, right? Express from your heart, to be the real you. So think about this, how you want to show up, and because at the end of the day, it's about how you want to be remembered as well, right? What kind of legacy are you trying to build? And with Jupiter in Leo, I know that for some people will be like, oh my god, I thought with Jupiter in Leo everything is going to be so good. No, hello, South Node is also there. You need to pay attention. Just like the card of the Wheel of Fortune, which is representing Jupiter. Is it always going to be good? No. Sometimes you'll be here on the high of the wheel, but the wheel turns and sometimes you will go back down to the lowest point of the wheel, right? It is not always sunshine and rainbow. There is also stormy, dark clouds, thunderstorm. But this is about how you're navigating through it all, right? So just to give you some dates for reference, last time when we have a solar eclipse in the sign of Leo was 2017, August 21st, and that was at 28 degrees in Leo. That was the last solar eclipse in Leo. And the last lunar eclipse in Leo, which is like full moon essentially, was 2019, January 20. That was in the 0 degrees of Leo. So between 2017 to 2019, that was when we last have eclipses happening in the sign of Leo. But that was when we have a nodal reversal, meaning during those time, 2017 to 2019, North Node was in Leo. 9 years later, now we have South Node in Leo. So maybe perhaps for some of us, whatever happened between 2017 and 19, similar themes topic might come up, but this time this is a South Node, meaning that in order to start something new, something old might needs to go. And maybe perhaps something similar might come up, but in a different form, right? It's not exactly the same. It might feel familiar, but it is asking you to do it differently, or you might experience this energy in a different way. During this eclipse on the same day, we also have Mercury in Leo, sextile Uranus in Gemini at 5 degrees 20 minutes. So this can be creative, innovative energy. This can be ideas, conversation that you might think is impossible, but turns possible, right? And because with Uranus and eclipse is a wild card energy, anything can happen. Expect the unexpected. But because it's a sextile, I would say this might be a more positive manifestation, right? This might help to give you a little boost to take a risk, to take an action, to embark on something different, right? This can be a different point of view. Like I said, it's a Mercury and Uranus, right? So this can be a very interesting dynamic news or information coming in as well. So right after the solar eclipse, we'll have a 16 hours, 42 minutes of void of course moon until August 13, 3:18 a.m. And on August 18, we also have Mercury sextile Venus in Libra at 6 degrees, 48 minutes. So this can be a good day for connection, creativity, arts, poetry. You know, Mercury in Leo is very creative and Venus in Libra is very artsy. This can be a great day to, you know, create some kind of community events, gathering. This can be exchanging conversation with people that embodies share similar values, belief with you. This can be a day where you can go to a concert, go have fun, you know, go to an art gallery, go to a show, go to a talk show or whatnot, to just like have a good time. It's like a good vibe day, you know. Maybe this is a day where, you know, you have interesting conversation. And for some, because it's Venus and Libra, this can be a romantic day as well for the couples. This can be definitely a great day to go on dates, you know, even some sexy time. So for some, maybe this is a good news because again, this is a Mercury sextile Venus. So maybe some of us might receive some good news or have some interesting conversation today. And then we have one of the longest ever void of course moon on August 13, from 12:23 p.m. until all the way August 15, 7:19 a.m. We have a 42 hours, 56 minute void of course moon. I feel like this is for us to recharge from this epic, powerful, chaotic solar eclipse in Leo that can just be a megaphone energy. So for some, maybe if it's possible this week is just simply not have too much to do on the 14th and most of the 13th. Maybe if it's possible, I know it's not always possible, to prioritize rest, or just like I said, 13 is a great day to just go out, have fun, enjoy yourself. So maybe 13 and 14 if you can, call off sick at work and just have some fun, rest, enjoy yourself and have a good time, you know. And on 15, finally 15, we have Mercury conjunct Jupiter at 10 degrees 9 minutes in the sign of Leo. This can be a lucky news day for some of us. Okay, so especially I say if you have any planets or point aspecting this 10 degrees 9 minutes in the sign of Leo, this can be a good news lucky day for you. And I already can picture seeing some posts and reels about August 15, Mercury Jupiter conjunction. This is the best day of the year. I'm sorry to burst your bubble. Unfortunately, no. Okay, Jupiter is not just about abundance. This is a very surface level understanding of astrology, and I'm seeing more and more of this frustrate me. Okay, remember, South Node is there. We're in eclipse season. This is not the best day of the year. And Jupiter is not just about abundance. Like I said, Jupiter is simply going to expand whatever it touch, expand whatever it cross path with. So if you are having a bad day, if you are having an evil thought, if you are not thinking lovely thing or nice thing about yourself or other people, Jupiter is going to simply go there and magnify it. So I'm so sorry if this trigger anyone. If you are feeling anxious, if you are moving through something difficult, Jupiter is going to expand it and it's going to be tougher and harder for you. So no, it's not going to be the luckiest day of the year. But yes, I already know, I can picture that already. But this, yes, energy goes both ways. This can be a lucky day for some, but not all. Okay, I don't want people to have false hope and wondering why is it not. Jupiter simply expand anything. So like I said before, but today with Mercury conjuncting Jupiter, see, Jupiter is going to expand everything Mercury has to say. And Mercury in Leo is already that megaphone energy. Today, Jupiter is going to make it even louder. So I will not be surprised if there's some really crazy jaw-dropping news information coming out today. But this can be a very great day to for all the mental work, right? Like if you want to write, if you want to study, if you want to research, if you want to learn something, today is a great day with this conjunction between Mercury and Jupiter. For some, you might be feeling very inspired today. Creative project ideas might come in. You might, feeling the download, receiving downloads. And Jupiter is all about wisdom, knowledge, spirituality. So today can definitely be, for some of us, having some very expensive conversation, spiritual conversation, exchanging and learning, teaching those topics as well. But of course, like I said, this can be a day where heated argument might happen, especially maybe about certain belief or values that you have. Maybe we don't share the same and we are going to argue about it today, right? So one thing I want to say, this aspect between Mercury, Jupiter is going to bring some of us back to end of June, okay? Because end of June, right before Mercury retrograde, Mercury was in Cancer, and Mercury was inching closer and closer to Jupiter to form that conjunction. But on 28, it did not happen because on 28, Mercury in Cancer decided to retrograde. So it was only 3 degrees apart, very close. But then Mercury's like, no, wait, I'm gonna go back. This is not happening. So Mercury and Jupiter did not meet during end of August. However, now they are going to meet again today on August 15. So for some of us, perhaps something was going to happen or take place during end of June, maybe specifically June 28, but it didn't happen. For example, I was going to sign a contract June 28, but the other person was like, oh no, we're not going to go forward to it. I need to reflect on it. I need to take a look at the contract again. And then now August coming back is happening. It's coming back, but not exactly the same, because now Mercury and Jupiter are in the sign of Leo. So something similar might come back, but not in the exact same form. Perhaps the terms and condition of the contract is no longer the same. Now it's a different one, right? Now it's a little bit different. Maybe a conversation almost took place, but it didn't happen. Now it's happening, but we are going to have a different tone about it, right? So this might happen for some of us. So this is about this week astrology. I know it's a lot. We are in eclipse season, so please take care of yourself, take care of your energy, and try to space out your schedule if possible, and prioritize rest and hydration. Expect the unexpected, because that's just, eclipse season is always the wild card. But even though it might not feel like, when we look back and reflect on it, whatever happened is ultimately for our highest good. I just released the Chiron and Taurus workshop. Please check it out. It's all about the Chiron and Taurus transit for us in the next 7 years. So during that one-on-one workshop, we will take a look at your natal chart. We'll talk about how and where Chiron and Taurus is showing up for you. It's all about our wounds, trauma, but also about healing and remedies. So if you're interested to navigate, to see what are the themes you are being invited by Chiron to heal, to look at, to learn more about, for the next 7 years in your natal chart, feel free to connect with me. We will talk about the whole 7-year transit. There might be time and date you need to pay attention to. There might be period of time where it can be a little bit more tender, that require you to be more gentle with yourself. We are going to also look at the remedies that is available, the healing that's available for you. So I love Chiron. Is one of my favorite celestial bodies. So if you feel called to work with me, connect with me, feel free to email me. I am going to release another workshop that is coming up. I'm just doing some finalized touching, final touch. I'm just doing some final touch, but this is going to be your rowing journey. It's all about Leo and also Aquarius. because we're going to talk about eclipse season. We're going to talk about having so much energy in Leo, right? We have the South Node, we also have Jupiter, and guess what? We are going to have another Mars retrograde upon us, and it's happening in the sign of Leo. So we're talking about all the 3 different transits, all about Leo. How is it showing up for you in your natal chart? What are you moving through the next couple of years with all these different transit happening in the sign of Leo and Aquarius? Special days you need to pay attention to, and how is it going to transform you? Because guess what, your Leo house is experiencing a major renovation, and it will not be the same 2 years later when you reflect on it. So if you're interested, look for that post. I'll post it on the social media, my IG, and here on YouTube, the community board, very soon next week. So pay attention to that. And again, feel free to always comment below, connect with me. I love reading your comments. Email me for private consultation, or if you have any question about all the different workshops that I am offering. In the meanwhile, take care, and I'll see you again next time.